Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. You found Biking Buddies, the motovlog channel, and here we are down at the NY 500. It's a TRF day, as you can see, and this is a group-led ride on the eastern side, central eastern side of the North Yorkshire moors. I'm not leading today. We've been kindly led by DC, and he's going to take me around and show me a little bit of the area because I'm not massively familiar with the east side of the North Yorkshire moors. So I don't know what's going to happen. You guys don't know what's going to happen. Nearly. So as always, grab yourself a brew and come with me on this week's Biking Buddies motovlog. Let's QVT.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison, what's your pleasure?
Okay then folks, so as the titles have just rolled by there, as you've seen, that's us out of the blocks and away from the cafe. We've had our ride brief from Dave, and it looks like that we're going to head roughly towards the Great Forests of North Yorkshire. Now what's going to be interesting with this ride is, apart from just the general kind of geography, I sort of know where we are, but I don't know where the trails are. So that's going to be good, and with Dave's senior knowledge of the TRF, that's going to give me a good springboard to expand that trail knowledge over the coming weeks and months, so that next time we're over this way I should be able to lead a ride. For those of you that are interested, we are pretty much going to be sandwiched between the Pickering area of North Yorkshire, which is on the very south tip of the national park, and Scarborough, which is on the very eastern edge of the national park. So Dave has reliably informed us that the trails are going to be ADV friendly. So we've just got to be a little bit mindful here. There's quite a bit of ice in these puddles, as I can certainly feel. And that is going to be a bit of a challenge for today, in one respect, that we are coming off the back of an incredibly cold snap, and as such, let's get over here because Dave would have broken the ice, and as such a lot of the puddles will have ice in the bottoms of them. But I do believe that mainly we're going to be on forest type tracks and farm tracks as well. Now of course there is method to all of this, as well as just generally getting out on the bike and having a ride. It is very very nice, and very grateful by myself certainly that DC is leading this ride for us, showing me these new areas. I'm quite comfortable leading an ADV focused ride across the Yorkshire Dales, or certainly parts of the Yorkshire Dales that I know, and also across the western side of the North Yorkshire Moors National Park. But what I'm not comfortable with is the eastern side. I'm quite happy getting out here myself, but in terms of actually leading a ride, I do firmly believe that you need to have a good sound geographical knowledge of the area, what's around, where you are, etc. And that's certainly something that following DC today, that is very definitely going to give me that. So we are heading now into the Greata Forests, and there's another TRF group there, and the infamous Slippy grass. There's a lot of TRFers there, that is for sure. So a slippy old lane awaits us. I have been down here in the summer before, and it wasn't too bad. I do like being in the trees, and DC certainly read that with the brief today. He did say that he was going to keep us predominantly in the trees, and that is very good. I just think the scenery that you get when you're riding through these woodlandscapes is absolutely fantastic. Whoa, nearly down. And these are the slippy bits indeed. You can get a turn of speed or a little bit of pace on the gravel sections, and for me anyway, it is just a case of then IDing where those rutted, very muddy, slippy bits are and just backing the pace down a bit. Now I went right the last time I came down here, which is probably a mistake. This certainly seems the more gravelly section, because I do recall that bit down to the right being quite muddy. Lots of concentration going on today. And of course we're riding into the teeth of a storm. I can't remember the name of the storm, I will flash that up onto the screen. But we are forecast some 60 miles an hour winds from the south-southwest, which is bringing a warmer airflow, thankfully, because we've had temperatures of -5 during the daytime of late, hence the ice that's still on the ground in places. But certainly that wind will make it a little bit challenging when we're across the tops, that is for sure. And here we are in the south edge of Dolby Forest, I do believe. Excellent. And I get the impression that I was very definitely the one holding the group up there with my pathetic tiptoeing through the ruts. I do apologise, guys. I really do apologise. So yes, this is Dolby Forest in front of me. I recognise certainly where we are. So we have Dalby immediately in front of us, and we have the vast expanse of Wykeham Forest to our right. And far beyond on the off distance we have Langdale and Broxa beyond. Langdale, Dalby and Wykeham, very synonymous for those rally fans amongst us for the rallying years. I certainly recall as a mid to late teen standing in the forest waiting hours and hours on end for the likes of Russell Brooks, Jimmy McRae, a very young Colin McRae cutting his teeth on the rally scene. Oh, a bit of ice there on the road. Whoa, that's completely sheet ice there. That is, whoa. I need to get myself out of this rut. That was very icy there indeed. It's hard to tell whether I'm riding on ice or just a compact forest surface, to be honest. It's good to see them out. I get the feeling that this is now ice. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that ice? That is ice indeed. Yeah, it was good to bail off to the side there. I could see that was ice. Hence I bailed. Wowzers. Very icy. I say I saw the ice, that's why I pulled off to the side. I thought I'm better off on the rough.
Ah, well, them other lads were all in that.
They were all in the rough as well. I saw the ice there and just went straight into the rough. I thought I'm best off in the rough here.
That's why I'm just stopping to say, sheet ice, we need to be over.
All right.
We'll tiptoe through.
Yeah.
It'll get better as we go further along.
There's a lot of traffic on here though, isn't there, with the Dalby?
Polishing it off.
Exactly. Wowzers. That was a bit of a... So, stick to the side, in the rough, that's exactly where I went. And as Johnny was saying there, there's absolutely no rush with this one. Just a tiptoe along, you can see the forest drive there is just literally sheet ice. And we're right on the edges of that at the moment. It's like being on the Triumph course. Decent forest track, would you use it? Nah, get yourself in the ditch. Alright, I think we're okay. I think we can risk it a little bit on the drive now. Just got to keep our eyes glued onto that track. Of course, this won't readily be a problem come a warmer spell. There's the ice again, look. You can just see the trail goes polished and glass-like. And yeah, it's very, very deadly. Wowzers. So a little link section now that takes us off that forest track onto the forest drive. Whoa, this is extremely slippy. Man alive, this certainly warms you up, that is for sure. And there is the Dolby Forest Drive. Wow, out of breath now. Wow, that's quite a tiring as well. Look at the track here, just completely sheet ice. So we're pretty much stuck to these side ruts here, both left and right, depending which way we're going. And I think we just stopped to have a bit of a conflab with the other group to see what the conditions are like a bit further ahead. But man, this is tiring. Right, so that's just met with the other group there, a bit of the old as was mud notes, so to speak. They've just come up this trail we're about to go down, and the general consensus was that if we stick trail centre, then there should be a little bit more grip. And more is a relative term, given that we've predominantly been riding on sheet ice. Which, yes, I thought ruts were my nemesis, and I didn't like them. I now have a new one in so much of sheet ice. And you can see to the left and to the right of me just how incredibly slippy this is. And whilst the centre is a little bit gravelly, it is also quite icy as well. And it's understandable why we're on a north-facing slope here. We're through the trees, there'll be very little sunlight gets on here. But that said, it is an unbelievably pretty part of the world if we can take our eyes off the trail long enough with this bum clenching descent and the ice around to actually enjoy where we are. I'm very grateful for Dave for leading this one. And there we are, it looks like we're out of the ice and onto something a little bit more tangibly grippy. Thank goodness for that. So looking where we are now, we're out the back of Dolby Forest, and we've got Langdale there. Langdale heading off in front of us. Whew, what a day so far. Certainly didn't expect to be riding on ice today, that is for sure. But every day is a different day, especially with the TRF. Okay then, sit rep on the ride. We are now about to enter Broxa Forest. It's a long time since I've been in here, that is for sure. Broxa Forest is again pretty much like the rest of the forests. It is a crop, but there are large sections of it. Come on in. There are large sections of it that are deciduous as well, which gives it a very old and eerie feel in place. Okay, so here we are then in TRF fine fashion, shared spaces, just backing the pace down, acknowledging that shared space element. Good morning, thank you. And then we can get on our merry way. It's incredibly busy today through the forest, lots of people, lots of dog walking, horse riders, etc. And what was interesting there, just stopped at the car park, was a little bit of public relations with the local police, and DC being a senior member of the TRF, just doing that super good work of keeping everything harmonious. Look at this, you can certainly see the weather that's away to the south and the west of us. So let's get on with the show, dispatch this road section, and we're going to pick up a little bit more of the forests. Where's Dave gone? There he is. So this really is all very new to me. I'm kind of roughly familiar with the area that I'm in terms of the forests that are around me, the namesakes of the forests, but I'm not 100% sure exactly where I am. And like a few on this ride, there are sections that I'm recognising and large sections that I'm not. But it is very nice to get into new areas. areas and explore and expand that trail knowledge. And And as others of you that follow me on the YouTube channel will know, I do really enjoy the forests, and this is certainly something that I want to expand on, in an area that I want to get to know a lot better than I actually do. So this is a very good learning day for me as well. And that sees us back into the forest, so hopefully the ice will abate. It is so good to be finding new trails, even though these are super slippy and super wet. How unbelievably pretty is this? There's something about riding through the trees, I don't know what it is. Does it take back to you, kind of tick those primeval boxes? I don't know. I mean, I love the open moorland, of course, but I just love these deep in the forest. So many possibilities. Wow, these fire breaks, just, yes, those that know will understand. Oh man, I love it. And you pop out into the open and you kind of just, you've got those momentary just snippets where you try to get your bearings to see where you are. So this one's a new to me trail. We're in a forest that I've done before, which is Wykeham, or sections that I've done before, which is Wykeham. But the trail that we're going to pick up drops down towards the campsite. I think I looked at this on the map, and I opted to take the opposite route, which I think is called the North Road or something like that, I don't know. But according to DC, there's a section at the bottom as we drop down to the farm that's a little bit muddy, so it'll be worth going and having a look at that. Of course, the mud levels will abate when we get into the summer months and the drier months. Quite a lot of logging work going off here, look at this. So I'm wondering then if this is the muddy section or muddier. It certainly looks a muddy section, that is for sure. Whoops, completely offline to where I wanted to be. Never mind. Whoa, mind your legs there, son. Yeah, this is try and get up into that centre bit. Ow, ow, ow. I was trying to avoid the fence. Got myself well and truly stuck there, and stuck on the fence as well. That was less than ideal, I can tell you. So DC, you weren't wrong when you said that it was muddy and slippy. Let's get on to a little bit less travelled bit. Well, I do apologise for the heavy breathing, but yeah, this is the trail that I remember coming up. That warms you up. That was slippy. That's the only thing with the arables, I guess, is you end up in ruts, very slippy ruts, normally just the preserve of agricultural vehicles. But it's good. It's a bloody good workout, I know that. So I guess this is the slippy bit. I guess this is the slippy bit.
Yeah, it's just follow the road down the bank, and it's just, there's a little hairpin right in the bottom. It's on level ground, just a bit funny, that's all.
Fair enough. This is the muddy bit. Yep, this is muddy for sure. Right, now where do I go? Let's go really wide. That's where Carlos has gone. Up we go, up we go, up we go. Up we go. Come on, girl. Climb away. Dear me. Cheers, Cal. That was alright, that. Enjoyed that.
I wasn't going to come down here originally. You know?
Alright.
I thought we had a few big chases today.
Yeah.
You guys are fine.
I enjoyed that. It's a momentum job, isn't it? It's always that sense of tantalisation when you're just pushing northward up into the forests. You know that you're going to ultimately come off these arable tracks and trails and end up into something a little bit more forest-esque, surrounded by the trees. And this sees us approaching the tree line and the southern edge of the forest. It's interesting to think that we've pretty much now got forest all the way out to the Scarborough coast, which is quite amazing when you think of the sheer space and volume that that takes up. Wow, look at this trail. Unbelievably slippy, boggy. We've already come this way, we've turned around. Well, let's go have a look. See what's happening down the bottom. So we slithered our way down this hill, which is incredibly slippy, and when we got to the bottom, DC went off on the other side up, and it just proved too much, too slippy. So we turned around, which is no mean feat in itself, to work our way back up. So I'll see if these guys need a bit of a hand now. Here comes our sister T. Look how little traction there is. And he's up, fantastic. So then we've got the KTM Carl. And we've got DC, our ride leader, and then Johnny at the back. Unbelievable, so slippy and deep in the forests. This is fantastic. CCM 450. And Johnny on the Husky. Let's go give him a pull. Nearly.
Don't stand behind me.
There we go. Wow, unbelievably slippy, and all on 50/50 tyres. Part 1 50/50s. Good old Capra X, eh? Man, I'm hot. That's how slippy it is. Carlos a little bit over exuberant there. So let's just ease our way past. So the sections I can stand and sections that I can't, the majority of it being the latter, and the old paddle option, discretion being the better part of valor. So yours truly has the lead at the moment, which is quite daunting. Bit of a log here. Why is it the logs are always cross diagonally? Just enough to spit your front wheel off. Hey. I'll tell you one thing, this type of riding, wow, does it warm you up. Unbelievably so. I am not a fan of those tree roots. So the bike just hit its false neutral there. Hasn't done that for a long time. It was either the bike or the operator, one of the two, probably the latter. It's the absolute lack of grip on the front end. This is exhausting. Wow, I am absolutely exhausted now. Just need a little bit of ride recovery. Nothing particularly arduous for the next 5 minutes, although I know what this trail's like because we've just come across it. Oh man, gravel, saviour. I am not as fit as I need to be for hustling this bike about. Must work on personal fitness. Really must do that. Of course, now we are post lunch. You've got that little bit of a slump after lunch, as well as the afternoon fatigue setting in, and it kind of self-compounds really, because the more fatigued you are, the less relaxed you are on the bike. The more tense you become, the more tense you become, the more fatigued you become, and on that vicious circle goes. But we do have these little respites, as we can see here, that just enable us to relax a little bit. So this is the hill that I didn't film before, so let's get it filmed now. Up we go. Wow, that was epic in every sense. So we're just about done now. We're making a dash for it back. We've got one more lane to do on our way back to the start point. I don't know whether you can see there, just have a look down over the nav bag there, as it were. We are sitting at 11 degrees. So one more lane to do, and then we're back at the NY 500 done and dusted. And what a fantastic day it has been. So here we are, the fat lady is clearing her throat. This is our last trail, Farmyard Lane, or Farm Lane, I believe it's called, or it might even just be that Dave called it the farm track, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's an inauspicious track, but it's one that we came across first thing this morning, and in the puddles there were big swathes and sheets of ice. So that's something that we've got to look out for. We are in that inevitable rain now, but not to worry. It certainly hasn't, or it won't dampen the day by any stretch of the imagination. This is where we had the ice, I believe. Yep, big chunks of ice there. Yeah, it certainly hasn't dampened the spirits at all. It's been an absolutely fantastic day. I am very grateful for DC for leading this ride and showing me around this area and just expanding my trail knowledge a little bit further. What it does mean is the next time we're over this way, once I've had a bit of an explore obviously, I will be better suited to lead an ADV focused ride, thus taking a little bit of pressure off some of these enduro bikes, Dave in particular. And Johnny behind us there as Tail and Charlie is our tech, just takes a bit of pressure off these guys. They can get on with more enduro focused stuff, a little bit more challenging, and I can step up to the mark and lead the ADV section, which I'm very happy to do. So blimey, feel like the Titanic forging through those ice blocks. You can't see them for the mud. Well, actually, I was saying that, you probably can. I certainly can. Okay then folks, so if you have stuck with me to the end, and thank you very much for your company as always. If this video incidentally inspires you to do a little bit of green laning, then I will be doing a video in the coming weeks all about how you can do that, what's the best route in, how you can make sure that you're legal, you're doing it the right way, the responsible way. But in the interim period, you might want to go check out the TRF. Just have a search on the internet for Trail Riders Fellowship. You won't find it on Facebook because those groups, wow, a lot of ice there, those groups typically are just member only, so have a look online through general Google. The TRF's webpage is extremely good, and aside of that, if you haven't done so already, then please subscribe to the channel for more content. Give the video a thumbs up if you feel so inclined, and leave a comment. I do my level best to reply to all the comments, both positive and negative. So the final thing for me to do, as always folks, wherever you are in the world guys, whatever you're doing, keep it safe, keep it shiny side up, and we will catch you for the next one. Cheers folks, bye now, bye.